Hi, everyone. Welcome. Happy Earth Day to all. My name is Kristen Skelton. I'm the founder of Bud Funding, a social enterprise dedicated to sustainable education. And this week I've been going live every day and sharing different things about sustainability. And some of them I've had great guests on with me. And today I have another guest. And Swantje Mac Montero is an interior designer and owner of SAMM European Design. Her focus is on sustainable principles. She creates interior spaces using environmental considerations while balancing functionality, aesthetics, and budget. She has lived all over Europe, including Spain, Germany, and the UK, integrating the best of these cultures into her style. Swantje, how are you this beautiful Earth Day?
Oh, I'm great. And I'm actually happy that I'm here on this snowy Earth Day. Yes.
I know we're here in Calgary and it's snowing today, which was a bit of a surprise. I thought we were over the snow, but it looks like Mother Nature is blessing us with snow on this beautiful Earth Day. So I'm really excited about this topic because it's actually not one that I see on social media much, and I really struggle with interior design in general. So I want to know, how did you become a sustainable interior designer? Was this a specific program that you took? Was it extra training that you took, or a body of knowledge that you've collected throughout your career? And where did this special interest in sustainability come from?
Right. Okay. Well, I'm Swantje Montero. As she said, I'm the owner of SAMM European Design. I'm a sustainable interior designer and stylist, and the owner of SAMM European since 2007, when we moved from London to Calgary. I've been an advocate of sustainable living for a very long time and seem to have had the bug for decorating since childhood. Apparently, I always try to rearrange furniture or rearrange someone's accessories. So it's been a long time coming. I'm actually also a marine biologist. I used to run a marine forum at the Natural History Museum in London that dealt with environmental issues. But the actual switch to becoming an interior designer was in the early 2000s. I did an interior design course at KLC Design School in London. Also did a home staging course with a very interesting lady from California called the House Doctor. She even had a program on Channel 5 TV who really showed me how you can use what you own even for home staging. So there's no need to bring in, not always the need to bring in furniture. So trying to use what people have somehow makes it flow better. There's a specific way of doing it, very unique. And with my passion for all things green and inspired by nature, I then chose to focus on eco-design and become a sustainable interior designer, which is still fairly new. And eco-design for me in a nutshell means that I try to make homes more sustainable and better to live in. And during the pandemic, I also discovered biophilic design, which is very interesting, fairly new concept. And actually, it binds together nature, design, and well-being. So that's pretty much in a nutshell.
And Bud Funding has been lucky to have Swantje with SAMM European Design part of our past expos. And so we've known each other for a little while, and I never knew that you have a background in biology.
Oh, well, there you go. My previous life.
Your previous life. Very interesting.
Yes. Yeah. So, and the Marine Forum also brought me in contact with a lot of NGOs, Greenpeace, etc. So it's been sort of running parallel with the interior design. And I apply principles like reusing, recycling, upcycling, repurposing. And I definitely use that, and I try to use it as much as possible to what clients have already for their projects. Actually, I could show you some photos if you bear with me for a minute, if I get this right.
And if anyone has any questions for us, please put them in the comments so we can answer them during the stream. If you are watching the replay, give us a hashtag replay, or if you have questions after the fact, we can definitely answer them after as well. So I'm just going to share the photos now.
Okay, this is just a example that sometimes all you need is slightly better lighting. So this client wanted an update for her entrance hall. And as you can see, we found this artwork she had in a different room, got the lamp and even the little table she had already. And the whole space is obviously much brighter and more welcoming and even slightly more modern. This one is a family room, which was used more of a, I don't know, all-purpose room, and they wanted to style it better and make it more functional. So we used the same furniture, the same coffee table, everything. The only thing they wanted to splurge on some art from a local artist, slightly different color schemes, and it looks warmer and friendlier already. This is an office. Again, it didn't really work the way it was set up and it looked really cluttered. A simple rearranging of furniture, bringing out some nice artwork to highlight the style. And finally, this was a slightly bigger project. It involved modernizing it again by just painting out the fireplace, keeping some of the artwork, rearranging it, and just to show that even with a small budget, you can achieve quite a lot.
Yeah, and just rearranging seems to make a huge difference.
It does, and that sometimes people don't realize that they have got really nice things in their house. And sometimes clients tell me, "Oh, this is like a mini television series when you come because I suddenly put grandma's vase on a piano and it looks totally different and it was hidden in a corner of a shelving unit." Yeah, and obviously when I do a makeover or a design, I make sure that I use non-VOC paints like from Benjamin Moore or chalk paints. New carpeting, there's a lot that you can use now that is environmentally friendly, has green logos. You have to make sure the underlay and glue is safe as well. Same with wallpaper, bedding, lighting. I do go a fair amount to Habitat for Humanity. I do go to consignment stores. They're great, even Value Village, they're great hunting ground for unique pieces. Sometimes that's all you need is a new mirror and some light fixtures. And but depending on the budget and the like of clients, not everybody is okay with having secondhand. So there is also upmarket like West Elm or Crate and Barrel or even Antique Store, which is done a lot in Europe. You combine a lot of new and old. So yeah.
And so those stores source sustainable materials if people didn't want something that was reused.
Yes, and someone like West Elm and even Crate and Barrel, when you look at the labels, a lot of things, the furniture have wood that's sourced sustainable, or the filling of the furniture is special organic cotton. But all those things obviously have a price point. So, for example, you can even get now beautiful countertops that don't have to be granite. You have a great product made in Italy that uses recycled gin bottles and lights from traffic cones. And yeah, it's expensive. It's as expensive as granite, but it's 100% recycled, and I think it looks great. It looks funky. I like color, so.
And I love the idea. I love the idea of the Habitat for Humanity because even though it's for me, I personally don't have any issue using something that's still in good shape that someone else has used. But you're also, by buying there, you're also supporting a great charity. So I really like that idea.
Great, yeah.
In terms of materials, are there any specific materials we should stay away from?
Yeah, well, obviously you should try to stay away from anything that's too plasticky or that has polyester in it, items that are mass produced. So, for example, I try to avoid to go to the dollar store and places like that, or even your gadgets or what you have in your kitchen. You should make sure the energy guide is a good one. Your washing machine, make sure the water usage is as low as possible. What else? Basically, you should try to not buy as much stuff. There is so much you can do. Even, I mean, I have this horrible habit that I picked up in Europe. When I see something standing on the side of the curb, I can almost not help myself. Very often I pick it up and see if I can do something with it. Sometimes you just strip the paint off and give it new handles and you have a new chest of drawers. Or chairs. My God, there's so much you can do revamping chairs. And it looks actually really nice to have an eclectic mix of chairs around your kitchen table. It doesn't all have to be matchy-matchy. So just look what you can find, but try to join the throwaway society if you can, and try to buy natural materials. So I like cotton, obviously organic cotton. Cotton uses up a lot of water, so unfortunately, silk is a controversial one, although it's a natural product. Obviously, the way it's made is not very vegan. I love cork. Bamboo, sisal, lots of wood, ideally repurposed, recycled, and coming from the biophilic principle, also lots of greenery, plants. It's very good for you and for the humidity. Calgary is so dry. And the larger the leaves, the more they can purify the air and the more humidity they give up. So if you can and you think you have a green thumb, it's not everybody's thing, surround yourself by greenery.
And everyone has unexpected luxury or a different way of defining luxury. I'm curious, what does luxury mean to you? What do you consider to be luxury that others might not? And do we have to give up luxury to be sustainable?
No, I don't think so. Let me just share another photo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, luxury is a very subjective one. Some people are okay with just little things. For me personally, I like fresh flowers. Um, See a simple bunch of fresh flowers, candles that have a really nice fragrance, soy candles. I love those. And luxury, I mean, recently I did a project where we used a headboard. I mean, this looks really luxurious, but at the end of the day, it's just a piece of recycled wood used as a headboard. Um, I don't know, anything that is comforting and makes you feel like you're pampering yourself. Um, there's also some beautiful furniture, lighting, um, rugs, luxurious countertops. As I say, everybody defines luxury different.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I love that
a
headboard.
throw, the headboard is fun, isn't it? Luxurious throws, even something that you knit yourself. I really got into knitting again. I had so much wool flying around, so not necessarily pretty, but it's very warm. A throw I did for when I watch television. Um, Great way to do as well recycling is using up old sweaters. I know what happens to everybody. You wash a sweater to warm and it shrinks. Well, rather than throwing it away, you can make it a new pillow cover out of it. Add some funky buttons. Yeah, I don't know. Luxury is a very personal thing. Some people find that lighting is the ultimate luxury, and it certainly can have a price point to match. And I know a room needs some good lighting. There's not, and something that puzzled me when we moved here is that a lot of ceilings here don't have a central light. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to start with the accent lights because there's no other way you can illuminate the room to start with. But
Yep.
yeah, it's something interesting that you learn. And also, as I said, color before. One difference I found between Scandinavia and here, for example, because Scandinavian countries, a lot of them have very similar weather, like we have in Alberta,
Yep.
but they like a lot of white, and they combine antiques with modern, as I said before. But they also like color. For example, the outside of the houses is just popping color of orange, bright blues, greens. While here still seems to be a trend in grays, blacks, especially the more modern houses, dark browns. So there's something that surprised me slightly, even inside. And then the lighting often isn't there to make it feel cozy and illuminated. So yeah, lighting can definitely be a luxury.
Yeah, I know in my living room I don't have a central light above, so I
Isn't that
have to,
odd? Yes, I don't know why.
which
Yeah,
yeah, it's like you think you need, I mean, maybe it's because I have a big window, like I have floor to ceiling window on the side, which
right.
is also like a door to my balcony. So maybe that's why, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
So you need
so,
lots of uplights in the dark corners.
yeah.
And sometimes if you, let's say you have a really nice piece of artwork, there is something called picture lights as well. And you can also get lights that you can even put behind plant pots, and they're called uplights. So you
Oh,
illuminate your plant, and at the same time you get a light source. So they're not so obvious, and you can even make them yourself easily.
that's good to know.
Literally, yeah, yeah.
What is some of the most interesting designer projects you've worked on?
Um, I personally like a challenge, so a small budget and really cluttered. Funny enough, I like it because that is a real challenge. A completely empty house, I've had only a couple of times that possesses a different kind of challenge. Um, but I find bathroom and kitchens are interesting because often you have to start from scratch, because the cabinets can't be reused or the layout is completely wrong. I've got a couple of photos I can share as well and show you what I mean.
Hmm.
And they are slightly more complicated because you have to look at so many different details, literally from the wall color to the tiles to the grout. If you want to have everything really green, it takes a lot of sourcing, trying to find the right products and that the client likes, obviously. So this is a kitchen just to show you. These cabinets were donated to Habitat for Humanity, and we could reuse the appliances. This kitchen is actually from IKEA, and it was a good choice because it's made from, I believe they said, recycled Coca-Cola bottles, and
Oh,
the countertop is a quartz countertop, which is very environmentally, it's sustainable. And then we added some biophilic elements by having these octagonal tiles and more plants and different lighting. So, and all that was on a fairly small budget. We were even able to keep the flooring, so that worked out quite well.
that makes
And
a
all
huge difference.
it makes a huge difference, doesn't it? It just brought it into a different century almost.
Yeah.
And this was a bathroom, and
Wow.
it was a very strange layout as well, and a really old tub that didn't work properly anymore. The how you call that, where you sit in bubbles. Anyhow, it didn't work anymore. And I that's something I always used to love in England, is have a heated towel rail
Yes.
and a freestanding bath. And this is a little shelf where people can put either decorations or bath salts or something like that. So yeah, do I
Okay,
have
I
another one?
love that. That's such a huge transformation.
It's a use information, and the tiles are actually travertine, and most of it I was actually able to find locally. So that's another thing that's really important, is try to source locally,
Hmm.
buy locally, support local businesses and local artists. There's lots of places. I often go to the Leighton Art Center, for example. They always have artists in residence twice a year. They have what's called their washing line sale of unframed art. There's lots of things you can find there. But yeah, there's people doing great jobs in wood carving, making furniture. There's people working with metal, candle makers. There's a lot you can source locally. Even mattresses. I'm part of a group that's called Be Local as well, and it has people who manufacture green mattresses. So yeah, try
Oh,
to shop local, try to support local businesses. Okay, some things might have to be sourced online.
Right.
But overall, if you can do it 50 or 60 or even 80% locally, that would be better.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, what are a few tips that you could share with someone who wanted to remodel a space?
The most important thing is to get your layout right most of the times. So a little trick is that you measure the space and make a little drawing, and then maybe cut out templates of your furniture, and then move the templates around on the grid rather than lumping around a heavy wardrobe or bed. So once you think you've got the best layout that can work in the space, um, then think about what you really want to do. So apart from the budget, are you trying to do a completely different style? Sometimes it's just enough to change curtains or some throw cushions. For example, I have different throw cushions for summer and for winter. Just a simple thing to change on even sofa covers. If you go to IKEA, they offer you sometimes 3, 4 different choices to go with your sofa model. So you can wash them, change them at your heart's content.
Yeah. And
Curtains
that's
can make a
awesome
big difference.
because
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that's awesome because then you don't, if you're sick of your couch, then you don't have to discard it and get a whole new
throw
one.
out
You
the
just
whole thing.
That
Exactly, and
makes a
start
huge
again.
change.
Exactly. Curtains can make a big difference. If you always had plain curtains, try something patterned. An accent wall, as I say, color is great. You get a huge amount of wallpaper at the moment. You can even get something funky like grass cloth wallpaper that you can paint over, and then at least you've got a bit of an effect if you don't want to go for totally different wallpapers that have images of trees or flowers, or play around. They can easily be peeled off and put back. What else? Accessories in general. You can go matchy-matchy. You can start with a piece of artwork and match everything to it, from the candles to the flowers to the cushions. Play around, don't be afraid. Just mix and match, and as I say, use old and new, and just
And I think
add
that's one of
to
my
things.
issues is that I'm like afraid to like do something or get something that I won't like. And so then I just don't do anything.
Yeah, yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, and then you don't want to be wasteful, but sometimes you can, for example, borrow something to start with. If you
Oh,
think suddenly you want to try everything in mint green and you're not sure it's a good idea, but you've seen it in someone's house, well, borrow the rug for a day and see how it looks in your space. Or
that's awesome idea.
yeah,
And
get some
Swantje,
samples. Mm.
if people want to connect with you, find more, um, ask you a few questions or connect with you in any way, how can people do that?
Okay, well, I am on Instagram. I've got my Facebook page. I've got my website. I write newsletters, which I normally put on my website as well, quarterly newsletters. I'm on Pinterest, but not very frequently. So probably email, website, and Instagram would be
Are
the
the best
ones.
ways. And we'll
Mm-hmm.
put that in the comments too. So you can just copy the however you want to get in contact with Swantje. And thank you so much for teaching me and the bud funding community all about eco interior design.
My
And
pleasure.
I hope everyone is having an excellent Earth Day. And I will see everyone tomorrow for the last session in this series. And I will be going live with CPAWS, Southern Alberta, which is Canadian Parks and Wilderness Society of Southern Alberta chapter. And I will see everyone here, same place, 12 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me. Bye.